What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Few, and I know what you're all thinking already. That isn't Paul Cotton over there on the left side of our screen. It's Austin Painter, A Paint. Welcome to the show, Austin, our first ever guest besides Drew, but we don't count Drew as a guest because he's kind of a behind-the-scenes guy, so this is our first ever official guest to the Fantasy Few, so everyone, welcome him here. Thank you for joining us, and he is here for a very special reason. We are here to talk Los Angeles Rams all night. We got two huge super fans here. I personally will not be here for the first half of the video because I am not a super fan. But before we get into things with the Los Angeles Rams, I want to remind you guys, like the video because it's going to be a banger. Comment down below if you're a Rams fan because this is all Rams stuff. So if you guys have anything to talk about Rams stuff, talk to these guys about it. And subscribe
Rams
to the
Nation.
channel.
Let's go, Ramley.
Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, please. It means a lot to us. And the content is worth it, guys. We post 5 times a week at least. That's the minimum that we do. We put in all this work for you guys, and we just want you guys to be a part of our community.
It's free. Just go look at it.
It is free. You just go look at the button and go ahead and give her a click. I, though, am out of here for a little bit. I'm going to pass things over to Mason now. He's going to host it with Austin for a little while. So you guys, you talk your Rams stuff.
Awesome. Get out of here. I don't want you here anymore. Bye-bye.
It's
All
Rams
right.
fans only.
Let's go. Guys, I just want to say I'm bringing on Austin. He's the biggest Rams fan I know. Way bigger fan than I am. He keeps me positive during all these dark times that we've had as Rams fans through the Jeff Fisher era, even before that. Through the Jared Goff era, he kept me positive all through that. I've been slightly negative sometimes, but we're just going to get in. Austin, do you have anything to say real quick? Do you want to shout out anybody?
Well,
shout out
to my Ramley.
Yeah.
Every Rams fan out there, let's go get this Super Bowl.
World Series, baby. Let's go.
World Series.
Okay, guys, let's go ahead. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's kind of break off the Rams beginning of the season, okay? How'd this start? Well, week 1, we had Chicago Bears. We got the dub, 34-14. Week 2, we played the Colts, a good football team, won 27-24. Week 3, we got the dub. We beat Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 10, 34-24. Austin, what did that win mean for us?
That's back-to-back years. That's back-to-back years. We took care of them last year. We took care of them this year. I mean, Tom Brady doesn't have our number unless we're in the Super Bowl against him, and he's wearing a Patriots uniform.
And we had Jared Goff as quarterback.
And
right?
we had Jared Goff, yeah.
So that was one of the biggest wins to start off the season. I know I was hype after that, guys. I was like, we're ready to go to the Super Bowl. Like, crown us now.
It's over.
But I slowed down there just a little bit. Week 4, we go ahead, we take on the Cardinals. We took a fat L, 20-37. What did you think about that first loss?
That was basically,
it was hard.
It was basically a punch in the face. It was a sit down. it was a sit down for us. It was to make sure we come back to earth, and it was to open up Sean McVay's eyes, really.
But didn't matter too much. We settled the score the second time we played them, so I was happy with that. Week 5, we played Seattle at Seattle, got the dub. That's a big. Anytime we go to Seattle and we get the victory, that's a huge win.
It's a tough game every time.
It is a tough game every time. If you want to mention anything while I'm breezing through these, just go ahead, cut me off. No big deal. We got the win week 6 at the Giants, 38-11, smoked them. Went back and played the Lions. Did that game scare you at all?
I had a feeling. I had this feeling that Goff is going to come and get us. And they tried. They tried everything they could. I mean, fake punts all over the place. I mean, it was. They didn't want the ball anywhere near the Rams' hands. I mean, Stafford did not. And at first, I mean, that first half, I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna blow this game, and we pulled it through. And McVay's been doing a really good job.
Dude, I was so scared, dude. I was like, don't tell me Jared Goff is gonna come in here and beat us.
It's
that
like
was
a trap
scary.
game, basically a big trap game.
Big game for us, though. Detroit has played. They have done well against almost every team they've played this year. So the fact that I mean, they
They
could
just
come
didn't get
in.
over the hump.
No, no. But yeah, we got through that one. Beat the Houston Texans. All right, so now what I'm about to get into. Our
Oof.
3-game lose streak, man. Our
The
3-game
slide.
lose streak. The slide. When I started to get slightly negative throughout the season, we lost to the Tennessee Titans week 9, 16-28, dude. That was
Yeah,
the start of some bad things to come. What do you
yeah. It
think
seemed
about
like
that?
they seemed like they outplayed us physically, which that seems to be what the 49ers and Patriots like to play. Titans are very physical. They play, Pittsburgh's very physical, and it seems like the Rams, when we play a physical team, we aren't
We
we aren't
struggle.
there yet. We're more of a finesse. We're out there to pass the ball instead of run, run, run.
We
And
got smacked in the mouth by the Titans, man. It
yep,
was it was a tough game.
it
It
just
was.
looked out
You
of
go.
sorts. Really,
We
it
did.
looked like our offense wasn't there. Our defense was scrambling. It didn't know we didn't know how to contain them really.
Moving on, we go week 10. We play San Fran at San Fran. We lose 10-31. We've lost. That was our 5th game in a row we've lost to San Fran.
Fifth
They
game in a
have our
row.
number.
We can't
Dude,
beat DEEBO Samuel is what it's saying. He has not lost to the Rams yet, but that could
and
change.
that could change. We're gonna get into that. We had a whole segment for the Rams planned. We don't have to spend too much time here, but that was another tough one. And when you go and lose 2 big games in a row like that, that takes you off. So then week 11's our bye, where we have a chance to get everything back together, and then we play the Super Bowl caliber Green Bay Packers.
To
That's a
note
good
on
football
that,
team.
to note on the 49ers game, that was the first game we got Odell. And I think it was or no, was that Vaughn? I think it was the first game we
That
got
might have been
Odell and
Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Yeah,
Vaughn was the first game. Yeah. And then we had the bye where we
yeah.
got Odell.
Okay.
And
Yep.
it got, so I want to say it was Odell against the 49ers was his first game. I want to
Yeah.
say that.
Okay.
So we had a bunch of moving pieces and we go out there and throw it out there and it didn't work. It did not work at all against the 49ers. And then getting the bye was huge in my view because we could work harder to be better and then to really put Odell in our system and kind of get some more plays for him and open him up as far as getting him used to where Kupp's at, where Jefferson's at, what Stafford likes to do. So coming into that Packers game, it was like, hey, we had a bye, we had 2 weeks to plan for them, and I don't think we did a bad job against them, but definitely
No, we
didn't come
didn't.
out with
The
the.
score was 28-36.
Yeah, I mean, losing this is gives me a confidence in the Rams going into the postseason is that we lost by 8, but we gave up the ball three times. I think it was 2 interceptions, pick six. Famous Stafford with this pick six this year.
Good old Stafford,
But
baby.
but and then we muffed a punt and we only lost by 8, and that was
Yes,
in Green Bay. So
and a
we
tough
can go. We can.
football team.
Yeah, a very tough football team. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has that rolling. Matt LaFleur. I mean, everybody that team is built to win,
They
and
are. They are built to win,
and
though.
to lose by 8 with 3 turnovers. I mean, we gave them points, so confidence is there that we can go back there and possibly beat them.
So a lot of critics and analysts will look at the Rams and they'll say, "Guys, you have lost to 3 playoff football teams. You beat the Cardinals. Um, what's the answer from here? What do you do? We came back week 13. We played Jags. We beat them. We smoked them, man. We throttled them 37-7. That was a big, big confidence booster. We needed that. And
Yeah,
me and you will send texts back and forth, and we were like, we better just
we better
throttle the Jaguars, right?
got
We
to.
needed that big time.
And I think it was a get back together game. Really,
It
it's a
was.
Jaguars team who's had gone through its troubled times, and we were able to, just go in there, play our game, win like we're supposed to, beat the team like we're supposed to, and show the caliber of offense and defense that we have. And I think it was just, get it back going. That game fell at the right time for us, I believe.
Yeah, you're 100% right on that. Week 14 moving in. Arizona Cardinals. This is our time to get back, baby. Huge game for us, right? So
Huge game.
we've got one win. We've got one win now after that 3-game losing streak. We played the Cardinals. We win 30-23. It was a good football game. Now,
Great.
Arizona was beat up. Did they? I don't think they had D-Hop, did they? DeAndre Hopkins?
I want to say he was shut down before that.
Okay, and if
Because
he did play, it was very limited.
Yeah, it would have been limited.
But yeah, man, we the Cardinals, who at that time was the favorites of the NFC West, they were red hot. Then we come in week 15, another divisional game. We beat the Seahawks. Week 16, we beat a tough Minnesota Vikings football team. That's a tough game.
Yeah, and we didn't play very well either.
We didn't.
And usually when the Rams don't play well, we shoot ourselves in the foot, and it's basically the game. It's over. It's like, well, we're down. We're in a hostile environment, and we just lock up almost. And we didn't, and we played through and ended up getting a win. I mean, I think it was a 7-point end, and it was a 10-point game. That basically was the win. Should have been a 10-point win.
Yeah,
But,
we won 30-23.
Yeah, but it came back, and the second half Stafford, that's what he's been doing.
He can hold his composure, which brings us to our next topic, the Baltimore Ravens. Now let me lay this out, okay? We've got a 4-game win streak, all right? We go to Baltimore. Their defense is good. Their home crowd is good. John Harbaugh is an amazing coach. Okay, that's just what I want to say right here. You look at that Ravens team and you're like, oh, the Rams only by one Ravens. And I listen to Rams podcasts. Like, I will check out like small little podcasts, and all I heard about that game was negativity until I listened to Torrey Holt and Maurice Jones-Drew talk about it. They're the only guys that kept a positive outlook on this game. Tell me how you feel about this game. Let's break this game down a little bit.
I mean, if you look at how the whole of the game, obviously you look at stats and stuff, and you look at Stafford and be like, oh man, another 2 picks, and then a fumble. And that is another Baltimore Ravens. That's another team that plays tough. They play tough. They play hard. They want to smash mouth. They want to, run the ball. They want to use the quarterback to run the ball. And for us to overcome the pick 6 early, and then, a mistake by Huntley got us back in the game. And that's what we needed right there in the first half, was a mistake by Huntley in the first half to really regain it. Because at the end of that game or half, we were going to be shut out in the first half. But Fuller was able to come up with a big interception and bring it back, and we got points on that drive. And I think the way they play us, being smash mouth, for us to be able to come out in the second half, Stafford was, it seemed like he was just ruffled. He couldn't find passes, couldn't find medium routes, and it was just, couldn't find the receivers. And then there were some drops from
dude, that big interception. He decided, who did he throw to? It was double or triple coverage.
Triple coverage to Odell, and Van Jefferson was coming around on a cross route, and he had nobody within him for like 25 yards.
Yep.
And I think, the pressure of, like I said to you earlier this week, the pressure that he has this year is the most pressure he's ever had in his career. He's never had, the Detroit Lions have never come into a year with him and say, oh, this could be a Super Bowl caliber team. But he comes into the Rams, his first year with the Rams. Now he's got a team that could be Super Bowl caliber. And now I think all the pressure's on him to perform, and he wants to hit the big play, and he just doesn't.
All the pressure's on him. It's so hard. Like, everyone's like, oh, you bring Stafford in. I expect big things from Stafford, just like everybody else, right? Everybody expects.
Yep.
So he's got a lot, like you said. This is the most pressure he's ever had on his career. He's expected to bring home a Super Bowl within these next couple years.
Yep.
How
It's
how
win
do how do
now.
you deal with that pressure? You didn't have that pressure in Detroit. It was like, hey,
Yeah.
hopefully make the playoffs every 10 years.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um,
It's it's a lot of pressure to deal with. You think? I mean, if you break it down with the running game and Cam Akers, who has been out all year, that takes away so much. Then you lose Woods, and now it's like, okay, we're fitting Odell in, and now it's all really circled around one guy, and that's Stafford. And it's,
dude,
can he win the games for us? And the pressure on him, it seems like he's looking for the big play. He wants to, drive it down the field when, like that big interception, he could have just checked it down to Van Jefferson, who had like a
yep,
30-yard gain, who was wide
wide
open. I mean,
open.
wide open. And I remember watching that play, and it was like, oh, Van's wide open. And then he chucks it, and I'm like, where is this going? This is
What do
going
you
into
mean?
bad coverage. And then there's three guys there, and I'm like, what was that?
It's
But I
like,
think,
calm down, Brett
it's
Favre,
pressure. Yeah, literally, it's
right?
pressure. And I think McVay has pressure on him too, as well as performing well, because they got rid of Goff, who's young and can still contend
Yeah.
to be a good quarterback. I mean, he got us a Super Bowl, but he just wasn't Stafford ability. And then now Stafford's showing that he's just trying too
We're
hard.
we're seeing a lot of people criticize Stafford right now, and you know, rightfully so. Some people will be like, "Well, okay, so there's opt outs for Stafford's turnovers. It's like, oh, Odell ran the wrong route. Oh, this happened. This shouldn't happen. This happened. This shouldn't happen." Um, But the way McVay views it, he says, "Yeah, this is basically coming from him." I'm going to requote his saying, but this is McVay's perspective on Stafford's turnovers. Yeah, they're bad, but we absolutely want to minimize them. Stafford shows that he's able to gain his composure and go back out there and get it done, and that's what we want on our QB. We saw that in
Yeah.
the Baltimore game. He played, you can say, a horrible first half, and then he came back on the field, man, and he didn't let another pass hit the ground. I think.
Yeah,
He
the
was
ball
he
never
was
hit the
lights out.
ground.
He was
Yep.
lights out, dude. And for a Rams team that we always see that crazy stat when Sean McVay's up by whatever at halftime, he don't lose. Well, we lose when
He's
we're down at halftime, but we
Yep.
came out losing 7-13 at halftime. We showed composure, and we absolutely needed that going into the
Yep.
playoffs. I don't care who says what. Out of all the negativity I've heard about the Rams playing the Baltimore Ravens and only winning by one, they're like, oh, they didn't have Lamar. They absolutely would have lost if they had Lamar. Blah blah blah. I'll tell you what, dude. I've watched Tyler Huntley, and he's played some good football. The way he runs that Ravens offense, I even see people talk about that Huntley has a better arm than Lamar, and I kind of can get down with that. Um, it's interesting to hear people like just crap on the Ravens. Like, you know what, John Harbaugh's done a great job with this Ravens football team. They're resilient. And you know what? The Rams came out and they beat the Ravens at their home
In
stadium.
Baltimore.
That was huge, man. We needed that
Yeah,
so
and
badly, dude.
it's big because when you go to playoff football and you have those kind of adversities of turning the ball over, because it's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen. You're going to turn the ball over. You might not. If you don't, most of the time you're going to win. But if you do, can you come back out and make that drive, make that
Bro,
game-winning run? And the
la-
Odell catch for
bro,
fourth
yes.
down, that was the one of the. I mean, that's just big time plays, and they need it. You need it in the playoffs, and you need it in the regular season. And having a first half like that, and coming back, and now, you know, I mean, being able to win that game, you got to find ways to win games. You ain't gonna win them
Yes.
all perfectly, 38-3, 38-10. If you're down and you're able to come back and get that win, I mean, it means a lot for them guys.
Oh, absolutely. All right. So we've talked enough about the Ravens. I think they get the point. Um, Cooper Cup, baby. Before we get into this 49ers game, Cooper Cup. Now, I think he's being completely disrespected for MVP. He's having arguably the best season ever as a wide receiver. Okay. We know the stats. We know his catches. We know his yards. We know his touchdowns. I listened to interviews with Sean McVay, and Sean McVay, we hear the rumors Cooper Kupp spends all this time in the film room. He spends all this time studying. He spends all this time doing that. Sean McVay backs it up. He says he inserted himself as an extension of the coaching staff. The coaching staff. He literally talks with the coaches for the game plan. And like you said, I don't know if you posted it or if you texted me. He literally drew up that play for Van Jefferson.
Yep, he
Bro.
came over in the sideline and in the middle of the Ravens game and saw what they were doing and told Sean that, hey, we need to run this play for Van Jefferson. Now, what does that say about a wide receiver? A wide receiver wants the ball. They want targets. And he comes out the field and says, hey, look, this play is going to work for Van Jefferson. And what happens is a 35-yard pass down the field. I mean, receivers don't do that. Another thing I saw him do in that Ravens game was he tapped over to the right tackle Havenstein and pointed to a defender who was coming and let him know, hey, this dude's coming, I'm going to chip him. And it was a pass play, but he was trying to get Stafford to understand, and Stafford didn't look at him, and he was going to hike, and he let him know, hey, I'm going to chip this dude, but he's coming. I mean, what wide receivers do that?
Dude,
I mean, there's not very many.
I don't know. Dude, he plays tight end position. Like, he will do things that tight ends do. This guy, as selfish as people want to call Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford, Sean McVay says Cooper Kupp is the least selfish guy on that football team. That speaks tremendously, bro. Like, and for a guy that gets all the looks on that offense, he earns every single target. He earns every single catch. Bro, I love Cooper Kupp. He's being downright
disrespected. He needs to be in the MVP running, at least top 3. Aaron Rodgers is there, definitely. Joe Burrow, I heard, is now 3rd, I think, in the running. And he definitely needs to be there. I mean, what he's done with Cincinnati. But Kupp's got to be up there. You can't just and that's talking about a whole of a player. Like, if you take Kupp out of the Rams offense and you put Van Jefferson, Robert Woods, Odell out there, it's not going to run the right way.
Not the same. It will not run the right way. You're 100% right, bro. 100%.
Robert Woods is the heart, and Cooper Kupp's the artist. And the way he runs his routes, it's crazy because he doesn't run the route that's on the paper. He runs to the end point. He knows where he's got to get to. He just runs his own route, and he'll be at that spot for the QB. Now, no matter where he goes, he's going to be at that spot. And it's just crazy to think about because wide receivers, they run routes on the paper, and he's running routes that just know I'm going to be there. But how I get there, don't worry about it. It's crazy.
I love him, dude. I love every bit of Cooper Kupp. I love the Stafford hookup. He's got himself a quarterback that can make it happen. All right. Yep. I don't want to spend too much time on Cooper Kupp. Let's get into the Rams versus 49ers. I don't know who's here, but I want everyone to chime in. This is a big game, guys.
Big game.
Good gosh, dude. I am so pumped.
Can I say something
he's
here?
back.
Can I say something here before we get into this game about Cooper Kupp? I love him, and I know Mason's throwing shade at me and Paul because me and Paul we don't say that he's doesn't deserve his touches, but we do say that the ball's forced to him a little bit, and that's, you can't deny that. But at the same time, he deserves every target he gets because he is an absolute monster. And I did want to quickly say, it's kind of off the subject of the Rams, but someone who kind of reminds me of like a little mini Cooper Kupp is Hunter Renfrow over there in Vegas.
You're not wrong.
Very similar players.
You are not wrong, bro.
Renfrow in the future, possibly not the season that Kupp's having, but like he could maybe be 1,300 yard receiver someday.
He's kind of on the same route that Kupp was, dude. You look at Kupp's last couple of seasons; they were good, but they weren't Cooper Kupp now. You weren't predicting Cooper Kupp to have the season after last year.
No, not at all.
You just weren't.
All right, but now we can get into the Niners and the Rams game. I mean, you
guys
are the Rams fans. I had to throw my Bears hat on because I had to kind of like give us a little bit of continuity in the stream. But
all right, let me start this off. The Rams have a chance to seal up the NFC West Championship and fight for the number 2 seed in the NFC. Okay, this is a big game. Austin, we've lost 5 in a row against San Fran. What's our answer? How do we come back and fight against DEEBO? DEEBO talks some mad stuff to us, man. Jalen and Darius Williams better be ready to come and smack him in the mouth, bro. That's all I got to say, man.
Got to. I'll tell you what we got to do. Run the ball. Run
Yes.
the ball. If we run the ball and keep possession in our hands, we can let Stafford throw it lights out. We know we can do that. We've done it all year long. But run the
Yes.
ball. Run the ball.
Please.
If we can, now that Akers is supposed to be fully back,
Akers, let's
if
go.
we can run it with him and Michelle and just continuously run the ball, not every down, but run the ball, keep them honest, and then boom, we go over the top. We hit Kupp in the mid range, maybe hit him over the top, and then we got Odell running top routes. Jefferson, I mean, both of them can take the top off.
Yeah,
it's just you got to keep them honest and run the ball. That's
I
the
think
game
you're
plan.
right.
So I'm kind of scared for the Rams in that sense because I don't know if they are going to stick to the run in this game because Cooper Kupp needs a record to be broken this week. And I have a strange feeling that they're going to make it happen.
Cooper Kupp will be the first guy to tell you, I don't care about the record.
We know that he doesn't care about the record, but the Rams organization's like, Cooper Kupp has done so much for us. We're going to give him this record.
We need that record.
He deserves the record, yeah.
I think
it's
it's
the right thing
right
in the
now.
organization, too.
135 yards, I think, is
Yep.
what get the record.
Right around that, 135 yards, man. That's crazy to think. I want Cooper Kupp to get that, but I want this win even more. I do not want to go into the postseason with a loss to the 49ers and a chance to see him again right away. Like, when it comes to playoff football, when it comes to even divisional football, the gloves are off, man. We know what the 49ers are going to throw at us. We know what they're going to run at us. We know how they play. Who's going to show up to the football game? Who's going to punch you in the mouth harder? What's Aaron Donald going to do? What's Von Miller going to do? What's Jalen Ramsey going to do? They need to show up wanting this more than anything. This better be our Super Bowl. I don't want to say this better be our Super Bowl, but we got to treat this like it's do or die. That's my opinion. We got to go all out.
Playoffs start now.
Yeah,
I think that's where you get ready to go because it's playoffs. Because we might have to turn around and see them again. So, I mean,
I don't know about you guys, but I would much rather see Philadelphia Eagles in the first round than the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know if you guys agree with me there.
Oh my
God,
dude.
I totally agree. I do not like. I mean, I like watching the games, but man, losing 5 in a row to them and possibly say we take this game and then we got to go play them again. It's like, oh man, we got to get this. Dude. And like I said, run the ball, but like Stone said, there's 135 yards out there that Cooper Kupp needs to get. And
so they're gonna be.
I
know Stafford's gonna throw it up, man.
Dude, he's already set the record once with Calvin Johnson, so why not set it again with Cooper Kupp?
Dude, Cooper Kupp is a DFS monster this week. He's going to have like 20 targets in this game. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. He's going to have everything underneath.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And definitely, like Mason said, he's the unselfishness. He doesn't care about that record. He wants to go out there and win for the team. And I did hear Odell. It wants him to get to 2,000 so that Odell can turn around and try to go break it, which is cool. But he's gonna have to. He'll have to find a new team to do that because he's still gonna be around.
Because Robert Woods is gonna be back next year, and there is absolutely no shot Odell ever does that with those two guys on the team.
Oh no!
Honestly,
I like Odell.
I do too. I was very hesitant to bring him on. I was like, man, I thought he was going to be a cancer. But turns out this organization's treating him well. Dude, the Rams organization does people right. Robert Woods went down. He was done for the season. He was close to getting some of his incentives with his yards, his catches, his touchdowns. They paid him his incentives anyways. The Rams treat you good there. And I think OBJ sees that, and he wants to play for an organization like that. We've got a real veteran in this guy. Somebody we saw at the end of the game last week against the Ravens. He stepped up. He had that big 4th down catch. He had that big touchdown catch. It blew my mind. I was like, we need this guy more than ever right
Need
now.
that
He
player.
needs to step up, bro.
He's right
On a,
there running with the Woods. Running
yeah,
with
dude.
Woods, honestly. It
I'm
was
so
a great replacement, even though when we signed him, we didn't know we were replacing Woods. We had
we
signed him, and
didn't
then that Friday when he actually signed the contract,
It broke
he
my
got
heart
the
that
it was
ACL.
Woods went
crazy.
down. Woods going
I
down
love
broke my
Woods.
heart, man. Absolutely
I
shattered it
love
to
Woods.
pieces. He's probably my favorite player on that entire team. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, I love him so much.
He's like I said earlier, he's the heart. He's the heart of our wide receiver group, heart of our offense. Really, it seems like Kupp
Yeah.
is, but really, Kupp's the Terminator. Basically, he walks like a robot, runs like a robot, and just makes catches like a robot.
Dude, his catch rate is insane this year. He's got the most
Oh,
targets,
yeah.
the most catches, and has got like the second highest catch rate in the NFL. The dude's
Yeah,
insane.
it's
Let's talk about
absolutely
Cam
insane.
Akers for a second.
Okay,
Coming off an
yeah.
Achilles injury. Coming off an Achilles injury in the summer. They said when the injury happened, hey, we've got a chance for him to come back in the postseason. What will happen? I was not optimistic then. I was like, dude, Achilles injuries are nasty. They shut guys down. They are. I've not really heard of somebody injuring their Achilles or rupturing their Achilles and then coming back and playing in the same season. It's
Yeah.
week 18. Sean, what you say? Whatever.
Well, I was just gonna bring up he ruptured his Achilles, right? He didn't tear it, if I'm right.
I'm pretty sure it was a rupture.
I
I'm
just
pretty
know
sure it was a full
Achilles-
tear, dude.
I just know Achilles injuries are some of the worst things. I was gonna compare it to Klay Thompson in the NBA. He tore it in the NBA Finals, misses the entire next season, and then is ready to go halfway through the offseason. Like over an entire year of prepping for it. Like that's how bad these injuries are. So Cam Akers coming back this week. If he's full speed and stuff, like I guess throw him out there, but it still kind of scares me. It seems like he's kind of rushed in my eyes. I don't know.
Also, what do you think about that?
That's how I feel. I think it's crazy that they even said, "Oh, Cam Akers is coming back or could be back by the playoffs," and it's something that maybe we don't know as far as how the ruptured Achilles was. Maybe it wasn't,
It might not have been as bad as what we think.
Right. It was enough to shut him down for the season, basically. But if it wasn't, and it's something that could, he should be done for the year till next training camp, and then work him in, maybe get him in the preseason and stuff. But if he comes out there and he's lights out, then it's great. If he comes out there and he gets hurt again, well, now we got a problem for next year because that's our star back. And I love that dude. I've loved him since day one of draft. I told Mason.
You did. You told me, man. I was not optimistic on that either. You were like, dude, this guy is gonna be a killer, and I was like, what are we doing?
I said before we picked him, I was like, Cam Akers is the guy we need, and we got him. And I was like, thank God. But hopefully, I hope the best. I hope they don't come out there and try to put too much pressure on him and touches. I hope Michelle gets most of the work against the 49ers, but that we need at least 25 to 30 runs in that game to keep them honest, keep them off of Stafford's back.
Dude, just another quick note on the Cam Akers thing. Sean McVay said he's ready to go last week. They said he was in the rehab room, he was in the film room, he was doing everything. Sean McVay said he's earned every right to be a part of this team going into the postseason, and that makes me feel good. I'm excited to hear that. Lot. Makes me feel like he's ready to come out. He will be on a pitch count. Sean McVay, they asked him in the interview, they're like, how much is he going to play? They're like, he's like, I can't say that, and rightfully so. He's not going to go out there and be like, he's going to play 30 snaps or whatever. They're going to ease him back in. Michelle is doing great things right now for this Rams team. Why take off the horses? Why bring them down? Let's put Cam Akers in. Let's get him fresh. Let's hey bud, welcome to the NFL. You're back.
You're back.
It's time to go, baby. Let's go. Let's ride these playoffs.
It's the playoff run. Let's go. It's the playoffs.
All right, Mason. Do you got any other topics here for the Rams today? Is that it for it?
One thing I kind of wanted to mention. We may or may not see Jimmy G. Everything's pointing to the fact that we're going to see Jimmy G this week. If not, if we see Trey Lance, I was kind of concerned at first, but then I was just thinking, we've played Kyler Murray. We play Kyler Murray twice a year. We play Russell Wilson twice a year. We played Tyler Huntley last week. We were fine. If we see Trey Lance, I think we're more than ready for Trey Lance.
Oh, most
but
definitely.
Yeah.
But
No question in
that's
my mind
one
about that.
concern.
I
I think
it's a concern at all.
Yeah.
That's why John Wolford is our backup.
John Wolford, baby, I love him.
We use him as our get out of mobile quarterback in our practices.
Yeah.
We train with him whenever we play Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. We had to Huntley, so Trey Lance won't be an issue. And I think Von Miller being on the team, he's good at reading that and just let Floyd go, let him go, and have Von Miller chase the quarterback. Stuff like that. Donald is just going to be a beast anyways, because that's what Aaron Donald does.
Brother. That's our boy.
That's
hey, man.
The man.
We brought you on here. Is there anything else? Like, what did I miss? Is there anything else you want to touch on real quick? Is there anything you want to, any glaring holes you want to talk about right now?
I think our defense is definitely turned around.
Yes,
from the beginning of the year.
Spot.
Yeah, from the beginning of the year, I didn't like how we were using Jalen Ramsey. I didn't like the soft zone. I didn't like. Really, I didn't like a lot of things about our defense.
We talked about it early in the year on the show, actually, because as a Bears fan, we played you guys week 1, and I was sitting there watching, and I'm like, this soft zone, David Montgomery should have 500 rushing yards today.
Oh,
they are just
definitely.
And I was like, this is like one of the worst defensive setups I've ever seen in my life. It makes no sense.
And then Jalen Ramsey playing inside. Yeah, I like him closer to the line, but when it comes down to it, and you got wide receivers out there like DEEBO Samuel, wherever DEEBO Samuel lines up, Jalen Ramsey needs to be on him and just lock him down. Now, George Kittle is another problem, and our linebacking core is a little soft with Ernest Jones going down.
It's decimated right now. Yeah, it's decimated, dude.
I don't know, maybe switch him off, have Williams run around with DEEBO, and have Jalen, every once in a while cover George Kittle. But I think, these past few weeks our defense has really stepped up, especially last week. And being able to pull out that win, we needed a bunch of defensive stops, and we stopped them, and that's what we need. Showed up. And AD's going to have his.
Let's go, baby. Aaron
Let's
Donald.
Go.
All right.
Let's go, baby.
Well, it sounds like that's all we had today, right? That's all we got today from the Rams, guys. That's like you guys got all the topics covered that you wanted to hit. This is Mason's show today, so Mason was running the bad boy. I'm just hitting the outro for us and getting on the road.
I just wanted to bring on one of my best friends, man. We've been best friends since 6 months old. I mean, our moms were friends back when they had us, dude. It was, we've grown up together, man. We've grown up Rams fans together. We're excited to do this. We're excited to bring you on, and I'm excited that you wanted to come on, dude. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I love it. I appreciate you guys bringing me on, and I was excited all day, and ever since you texted me. So
let's get you on, baby.
That's awesome. The Fantasy Few, look them up. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on here.
Mob Squad. Hey, we want to shout out the Mob Squad. Me and Austin follow you guys. I know Austin's more active in the group than you are, but I get a lot of valid and relevant information from you guys, and I hope you guys check us out. We're gonna post this on the page, so check us out, man. We got a couple Rams fans here. Let's go, baby.
You guys
let's go.
You guys never told me about the Mob Squad. I'm gonna have to go look them up after this and give them a look, give them a follow.
Look them up, man.
And everything for sure. I mean, if you're getting good knowledge from them, I am. Why not, right?
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, thank you, Austin, for being a part of the show today. It was a pleasure having you. But your time for talking has come to a cease. It's only me now, and then Mason for the outro. Hey, everybody, thank you for watching. If you're sticking around still, leave a like on the video. Comment down below what you think about what these guys said about the Rams when I wasn't here, so I don't have any idea, so I can't really comment on it that much. But you guys leave a comment and you argue with them or whatever, and subscribe to the channel. That big red button right above me, because I'm on the right side of the camera for the first time in ever. I think I've been on the far left every single time so far, so it's really nice for that button to be right there. But you can't click that one. You can click the one in the description, the one that's right below me, actually. So click that one, then you subscribe to our channel, and you see more of our content. I mean, if you're sitting here, if you're watching this video, you're 40 minutes into a video, why wouldn't you sub to the channel? Because, I mean, clearly you enjoyed the content, right? Yeah, you did. So hit that sub button. Thank you guys for sticking around. Again, thank you to Austin for the 15th time for being on the show. I'm going to give things over to Mason, and he is going to break us out of here.
Fantasy Few out, baby. Let's go, Rams. Let's go, Rams. Let's go.